Morning, guys. It is Thursday, July 5th. Hope everybody had a good 4th. And I'm inside the shop this morning because we got that going on outside. We got severe thunderstorm warnings. It's been drizzling for about the past probably 2 hours with no end in sight. We need it. We need a rain like this for about 3 days straight. Everything is just bone dry. So brought the truck inside this morning. I detailed the inside over the holiday yesterday. Shampooed carpets, did all that kind of stuff. Trying to find something to do with my time. I'm waiting for some canvas supplies. I got to repair my boat canvas after the hailstorm that we had up on Lake Erie, right at Catawba Island. We had some real severe weather come through last Sunday, and if you go on YouTube and type in Catawba Island storm and look at the most recent footage of it, trees, power lines, you name it, it looks like somebody walked down the boat docks in all the surrounding marinas. Looks like somebody walked down the dock with a 12-gauge shotgun and started blowing holes in people's clear vinyl on their canvas. The high winds ripped canvas. The hail has broken a lot of, besides just the isinglass on the boats, broken plastic things. I lost a couple of my bilge vents, which are plastic, and some trim around my windshield on the boat. Luckily I had my mooring cover with me, and I swapped that out for the cover that the regular enclosure with the glass and all that, so I'd swapped that out on Sunday. Before I left, there's actually tornadoes touched down up there more toward Port Clinton, which is west of where I'm at by a couple of miles. I went to leave on Sunday, and between the power lines and the pieces of tree and things like that were on the ground, there was only a couple ways out, and everybody wanted to leave, of course, at the same time. So it was just traffic jam after traffic jam, but we survived. One of my buddies who has his boat on Catawba Island up there, his car looks like a golf ball at this point from the hail damage. I mean, it's just bump after bump after bump. So nobody was hurt that I know of, so everybody was safe. Getting back to the story. I'm going to take the blowgun to all the water on this truck, dry it off. I don't know if I'm going to run the buffer over it. I did buff it lightly last fall. It just needs a coat of wax. And you can see the frame, how nice and black and shiny it is down there. Water's beading off of it. Tuesday we got rained out about noon with a real bad thunderstorm and tornado sighting. So I came back, and I take a mixture of diesel waste oil, and I come in here and show you the can, which is of course in the dark. Boiled linseed oil. The linseed oil makes it sticky, so you mix that about 50-50, and it gives it a nice coating on the frame and underbody, and you spray down. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up how grimy it is right in here, but the lower door lip, I have a little wand that gets up in the drain holes, and then I have a hole drilled there, and I blow oil in there, and you can see the corner of that door is black from where the oil's been oozing out of it since last fall. It's the only way I know to save these trucks, any of them. They rot from the inside out, so I figured it was nice and hot, and that would help bake that stuff on and help it flow into the little cracks and crevices and all that. But at any rate, I'm going to get this thing cleaned up. I don't know if I did it in my last video. I got a new windshield in the truck. The other one wasn't bad, but the weather stripping up by that first roof marker light, we peeled it up trying to see why the windshield was leaking, because I was getting Chinese water tortured driving the truck. And also the ECM is against the firewall on the inside right below that area, so I really didn't want to have to buy an ECM. if that got wet. So I called Safe Light, and they came out to the house and put a windshield in for me for just under $300, which I thought was a deal. Sometimes they will actually reuse yours. The guy had an awesome tool, and I should have videotaped it, but I didn't want to slow the guy down. It was already 4 o'clock in the afternoon by the time he made it. And they have this tool, it's suction cups to the windshield, and it's got a wire, and the wire, you'll chase the wire in here, and then you'll suction cup that thing on the inside and fish that wire around, and then it's got a crank on it, and that crank cuts the sealant all the way around the windshield. And then when he installed the new one, they had a thing, a long bar that suction cupped to the windshield, and then he had another apparatus that suction cupped to the window here, and it was like a hinge system. He could hang the window on it and then walk out to the end of it and walk that windshield right around the front of the truck and get it where he wanted it, and then smash the sealant down in there. So it was pretty cool. Super nice guy. I definitely recommend him as a technician. In my area at least. So they did a nice job. I actually, with the new windshield, I've got sunshade at the top because it didn't have the factory windshield in it before. It had an aftermarket Ford Carlight windshield in it, but it didn't have most of the Super Duty, say F250 or Ford Super Duty or whatever, and have that spotted sunshade that goes across the top. This one's actually blue, and this is a Safe Light one, which the camera is not gonna, there it goes. So it's a nice windshield. It's not leaking. I've been through 3 storms with it already and no water. So I'm gonna get to drying this thing off, and I'll hook you guys up in a little bit. Make something for you. All right, typical Velvet brain fart. I started buffing on the side of the truck and forgot to set the camera up. So I'll show you what I'm using. Not worried about the heavy scratches, I just want to get the fuzz off of there. That's a 3M gray waffle pad. Using that, probably about 1200 RPM, maybe a little less. And this Meguiar's swirl-free polish here, number, I don't know, 82, I guess that's the number. Doesn't take a lot of that. It's a light cut stuff. This truck's got sand scratches in it. It's been pile drive before I got it. So there's some shit ass body work on it, but I just wanted to get the sticky layer off of it, and then I'm using this number 26 Meguiar's high-tech yellow wax. It's carnauba wax. I like it because it gives a real deep gloss. It just doesn't last a long time. The other one I use is Meguiar's has the NXT, which is a polymer sealant wax, I don't know, polish, whatever the hell you want to call it. Which is that guy, the Tech Wax 2.0. This stuff works awesome, but it is a mofo to get off if you're doing paint work. And that's one reason I'm not using it on the truck, because I do have paint work to do this winter. That stuff's a bitch. It lasts a long time and gives a nice shine, but we're just using the big rotary buffer and then the little pneumatic buffer, same pad. And I've got 1 coat of wax on it. It is really humid out today. The rain stopped. The sun's coming out. We're supposed to be high of 97 today. And I am not working in that outside today. I need to. Got a little grass to cut, nothing too big. Need to cut the shop. I got like 3 acres here at the shop. I need to go home and play pickup sticks. Those storms that came through, I got willow trees that lost branches. Nothing like some of you guys in the south have seen, but we got just enough wind here, and my trees are in just bad enough shape to have shed quite a few limbs. So, I mean, we got standing water. We probably got an inch or 2 of rain this morning. It was a nice steady rain, which is good. But the weeds are growing. I'm going to work on this side next, and I'll set you guys up for that. My light is for shit in here today. Got bulbs out and ballasts out in my makeshift lighting situation here. So I'm not going to do much with this tailgate. I'll take you guys back into the cabinet here. I'm going to use this stuff. It's a breathable wax. Let's see if I can figure out what the hell I did with it. It looks like it right there. Sun Gold Eclipse, the mouth doesn't work today, quick wax. That's safe for body shop safe type thing. It's a breathable wax. It's more of just a polish, quick foo-foo thing. Smells good though. All their stuff is got scents to it. This has got like a bubble gum scent to it. You can't even see down in there. I was going to show you some, but this stuff works real good if you're trying to do something real quick. It's real thin. It's similar to I think McGuire's made one, or there was one by a company called the Wax Shop. AutoZone used to sell it. This stuff came from Shop Owner's Warehouse, which is my local body supply place. That's made by Sun Gold Abrasives, and allegedly it is a direct copy of Presta. I don't find it to be. Their compound is like sand. It's a diminishing abrasive. It's the one in that ketchup bottle there on the right, the green stuff. It just doesn't take the scratches out like I'd like it to. The heavy stuff works great with a wool pad on the boat, but on the vehicles I have a hell of a time getting the swirl marks out. That's why I got that McGuire's polish in the first place. But it works good to take a quick layer off. Let's set you guys up on the stand. Hang on for a second. We'll shoot the shit. Took the old tripod to the boat. I was going to show you an install on this marine head conversion I bought, but I did that last Friday, or sorry, 2 Fridays ago. I was in a hurry, and last Friday I had another thing I was going to show you, but again, in a hurry to get out and get on the lake. It was getting late in the afternoon. Oops, sorry for the shaky cam, guys. Anyway, I did electric head conversion for my toilet in the boat. The old one I had was like a pump style, and it had a little diverter valve on it, so you could pump seawater in and then pump everything out to the tank when you flip the valve the other way. Well, it's not very guest friendly, and people weren't getting the toilet flushed, this, that, and the other, so I got pissed off and bought that for $200 from a place called Hodges Marine out of Florida, which I believe is a pretty big warehouse, but they tend to direct ship everything that they sell that I bought from them so far. I bought an anchor windlass from them, which is direct shipped, and real great people to work with, and wholesale prices. Tried to get West Marine to price match them, and West Marine wouldn't touch them because they're a wholesaler, so whatever. So I got that installed, and then I ordered another device called the Blue Streak chemical injection system, and what it does, along with the marine head theme, tees into the water line so that you don't have to constantly pour holding tank chemicals in it. It just meters it as you go, so you always have chemical going into the bowl every time you flush it. So I bought that. I installed that last Friday. It takes about 10 minutes. It was less than 100, or right at $100, and I got extra tank chemicals and everything. They work for RV, so if any of you have an RV and are looking for a treatment system so you're not constantly dumping chemicals in the tank and overdosing them, stuff gets expensive. If you don't use it a lot, I guess it's not really worth it, but I use it every weekend, and what was happening to me, there's always a little water left in the bowl when you go to pump it out. And that water sits in that hot boat all week, and since it's lake water, I mean, there's microorganisms and things in that water that die, and it stinks. It doesn't smell like toilet, it just smells like funk. So I installed that, and it leaves a nice blue water, a Vanish or 2,000 flushes or whatever for your home toilet. It looks about the same, but time will tell when I get there this week if it smells funky or not. So I did that, and we worked a little this week on Tuesday, but the grass around here is fried. We haven't had any real rain, just like anybody else. But our heat index is supposed to be well up around 110 today. And my shop stays real nice and cool. I think the hottest it's ever been in here is about 80 in the summertime, and that's only from leaving the door open. It's insulated pretty well, which is one thing I can say for it. But it takes a lot of heat to get the metal in here from the walls warmed up, and the concrete floor stays real nice and cold. But I got the exhaust fan on today, drawing some of that cooler air from outside, but I'm about to shut it off because it's going to start getting real hot up there. So, that stuff looks like it's about ready to take off, so we'll keep the bullshit rolling. Wish I had something interesting to show you guys. A couple guys left a comment, get yourself a GoPro, we want to see what you got going on when you're working. That would be nice. I was originally going to buy a GoPro instead of the Kodak PlaySports that I have now. But the one thing I found with the GoPro is, first of all, it's expensive. It's like $300 or something. I forget how much it was, but with all the accessories, of course, that I wanted for it, it was too expensive. That was a Christmas present, and it was a pretty good deal. And it's waterproof. I can take it on the boat, do what I want, and not have to worry about it getting destroyed. We do have some jobs coming up that I might videotape. I don't know. It seems like every time I get into a job, it's full scramble mode to get in and get out. It's too hot. I want to just get done and go home. With my luck, if I set that camera up on a tripod in somebody's yard, I'd drive over it with a skid steer, and I'd be out of camera. So I really don't want to do that. So that's where I guess the GoPro would come in and work real handy for that. Again, don't have the funds for the GoPro. I'm going to stick money into the boat this summer, trying to get myself a few new creature comforts and all that. And the work was pretty much going gangbusters up till about a couple weeks ago. I mean, things dried off, people were on vacation, kids are home from school, so people aren't thinking about doing work, which is fine. I do have plenty of stuff lined up to do, but now it's not that huge of a deal because people aren't scrambling to get things done for Memorial Day. Everybody wants it done for Memorial Day. Or for you guys in the South, it's I know a couple guys have a pretty big company in Kentucky, and the big rush down there in Kentucky is for Derby Day, for the Kentucky Derby. Everybody wants their mulch done, everybody wants their shrubs trimmed, everything's got to look primo. So our rush has been over since Memorial Day. We're just plugging along now. So what I need to do is get my Duramax Chevy in here and get some body work done on that, but I'm going to hold off for a while on that. Figured I'd spit the truck up today. Like I said earlier, I did the interior and got it all chimed up. Looks pretty sharp in there. I didn't bring my supplies from home. I wanted to show you guys the stuff I came across. It's made by a company called PDP, which is where I get all my supplies, professional detailing products out of Canton, Ohio. And it's called Shine. And it looks similar to that spray that Darren used on his boat to spiff it up. It's a silicone type spray, so I didn't want it used in my shop. So I did it at home, but it makes your plastic look like new. And the one thing you don't want to get it on is Lexan. But like these, I don't know if it's probably too much of a glare, but like these armrests and all that, they get real chalked out from water dripping in from the window and things like that. And it did a fantastic job on those. Trying to think of what else I used it for. I used it for the lower plastic trim on the truck, like the bumper trim down there. Can't really see it in here, but the water is. Hold on. That plastic trim's looking pretty good, even though there's probably some oil dripping on it from oil spraying it the other day. can see, if you look at there's a drip of linseed oil right there, and that stuff's like glue, almost like rubber cement. You can roll it off with your finger until it gets real hard, and then it cakes on good. I mean, you can see that stuff is real gummy and mechanic's nightmare, but everything stays oily and pliable. I'll turn you guys back on when I get on the other side and that air compressor's done. Alright, so I'm going to work on the hood next. It's got some scratches in it that I don't know if I'm going to worry about coming out, but the last time I cleaned this truck this thoroughly, I did not buff the hood. I took a product called Scratch X from McGuire's and did it by hand. I've got the windshield covered with a blanket, or a sheet as it is, because I don't want to clean that shit up. Then I'm going to mask the jams because I'm not that good at it. So I just don't want to clean all that mess up. And I'm going to be a while. If I were going to be able to wash it right away, I probably wouldn't mask them. But I might decide to compound this hood. It's pretty crapped up. I guess I could back mask them. We'll see how this goes and go from there. Except I got a rat's nest of wire over here between that and my air hose from an air buffer. Hope you guys can hear this with that fan going. I'm going to shut that fan off. I like that camera, but the noise canceling feature really messes with the audio on it when there's background noise. So we'll give this a shot and see what I come up with. Other reason I like the McGuire stuff is it smells like banana. At least this particular one does. And maybe somewhere around a $1/4 to $1/2 size on the pad there. I throw the pad around my neck so that when I fall I can hang myself. Give it a little smear, and just work a couple foot section. Microfiber and wipe it a little bit and see what I got. There's a lot of shit on this hood. But as you guys who do this well know, if the hood looks like shit, it's the first thing you see when you sit in the driver's seat. So, actually that cleaned that up quite a bit. I'm almost afraid to compound it, but like I said, I'm not worried about the scratches as much as I am the haze that's on it. And the other thing I do sometimes is I'll take a squirt bottle full of water and give that pad just one mist over it. Otherwise the shit will fling everywhere. The hood's a little warm. It's been inside all morning, but the motor's warm underneath it, so it's radiating up and it's kind of drying out quicker than I'd like it to. So we'll try this again. show you guys kind of what's going on here, what I've polished up here, and then we'll cut that off. This video is going to get real long. Thanks to all my subscribers and people that leave their comments. I know I'm not making a lot of videos right now, but I appreciate all the subscriptions and the comments and all that, good or bad. It's nice to know people are watching. I'll show you guys what I got going here. I'll show you an after product too. This is probably the best way to see it. It's real nice and shiny right there. And you can see my fingerprints there. And that doesn't rub off. That's how dirty this clear coat is. So that should shine up real nice. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with something a little more aggressive. I think I wax and grease removed it real quick, but there's some pieces of crap on there I need to get off that just aren't coming off. Guys, so it's about 3 o'clock. I let you guys stay with me for most of this truck, or at least half of it. Wax is wax, you know. Put the wax on after I got done running a wheel on it, and it looks like it's gonna rain again. Wind's blowing pretty good, but I still got scratches in it. Some of this stuff is not coming out with a buffer, but one thing I did do, I got my bug deflector polished up. Came out halfway decent. That little spot, I don't know if you can see it where my finger's pointing next to the Ford. There's some buffing shit in the Ford stamp in there, but that mark right there was from my hand after having a pair of powdered nitrile gloves on. And that shit will not come out. That was over the winter. I was doing something on the truck and had gloves on. But it buffed up okay. I have a Norton headlight restoration kit thing. And it turned out alright. It is what it is. There's scratches and chips all over the paint. The whole truck needs painted, but it ain't gonna happen. It ain't that bad. It's shiny, and that's all I care. What I would like to do, well, besides the fact that I dropped the fucking tailgate on the tongue of the trailer after I painted it, I don't know if you can see it. Probably mentioned it before. Right there. The door's got a doing in it right there. And I suppose I could pull the inner door skin off and try and push that out, but it's probably work hardened. It's been that way since I got the truck and probably long before. But I'm gonna let this thing bake out in the sun here, maybe drip some more of that oil off. You can already see it's puking it out of the doors onto the running boards down there. So anyway, hope everybody's doing good. There's my little Thursday update, and I'm going to cut a little bit of grass here at the shop before the sun gets out from behind these clouds, or the clouds decide to roll in thicker and rain me out. So I'll catch you guys later.